ما فراتر از یک صنف درسی به آموزش ادامه می دهیم. برای آموزش بیشتر چینل ما را سابسکرایب نموده و با دوستانتان شریک نمایید.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ibrahimi. Welcome back to the channel. So the name of the channel is Let's Learn English program. So we are going to continue our lecture about the letters. So the previous letter that we were talking about was the letter B. Now we are talking about the letter C. Letter C. The letter C is also one of the consonant letters that we should talk about it, and it's very important to know that. So letter C is exactly divided into two parts. We have two types of C letter. We have a soft C and we have a hard C. We have soft C and hard C. So what is soft C and what is hard C, and what's the significance of this letter, or exactly this division for pronunciation of C? So sometimes for example, when we pronounce letter C as it is own, for example, name S, at that time we can say, when it has the letter in Dari language, when it has the sound of seen, at that time we can say it is soft C. And when the letter C is pronounced in Dari equivalent, we have K sound for that. At that time we can say it's hard C. So now we can say it is hard C. What time we can say that this is soft C? So we have a rule. If this letter C is used, if the letter C is used before I, E and Y, at that time we can say that this is soft C. And when we have some other letters except I, E and Y, at that time it is hard C. We're going to have some examples for more clarification. For example, in here we have the word, I'm asking you, in here do we say K or S? So in rule we have I, so in here we say sir, circle. So the first C is a soft C, but the second C is not a soft C, it is a hard C. Why? Because in here after C we do not have these three letters. We do not have I, we do not have E, and we do not have Y. So this is soft. Another example I can tell you is the word center. The word center, in here after C we have the letter E, or we can say that C is used before E, it is center. We cannot say center. It is what? Center. The other one we have the word, what do you think? Cyber. This is cyber. It's not Kyber. This is cyber. Why? Because after C we have the letter Y and we say it is a soft C. So we have exactly, if we have I, E, Y after C, at the time it is a soft C. And about the hard C, for example, we have like cart. Like what? Cart. Cart, we cannot say sort. This is cart. Or we have, for example, what? We have corn in here. Yeah, greedy people say corn. So corn, and here we cannot say sorn. What is the reason? Because we do not have IEY after C. So any other letter that comes after the C letter, at that time it is hard, except IEY. خب دوستان، حرف C از اهمیت بسیار خاصی برخوردار است، به خاطری که اکثر دانش آموزا زمانی که یک متن را میخوانند نمیفهمه که میره من چی بخوانم، سی بخوانم یا کاف بخوانم. به او خاطر حرف سی به دو بخش تقسیم میشه، سافت یا سی نرم و هارد یعنی سی سخت. خب سی نرم یعنی چی؟ یعنی اینکه سی صدای خود را بده و صدای سین یا صاد را بده، در اون صورت ما سافت میگیم، و در صورتی که صدای کاف را بده در اون صورت میگیم هارد سی. خب هرگاه بعد از حرف سی آی ای وای قرار بگیره، سی صدای خودم میده یعنی صدای سی نمیده، و در صورتی که دیگه حروف قرار بگیره باز او وقت کاف خوانده میشه. مثلا circle سی اول soft، سی دوم hard. در اینجا فقط سنتر داریم و دیگه سایبر. خب معناش هم میفهمین، سرکل دایره مانمیته و سنتر هم مرکز. سایبر it means فضا. و کارت کراچی هایی که در سوپرمارکت امروز اجناس میگیرین داخل میندازین و دیگه کورن هم که جواری است. خب حرف دیگه ای که ما در رابطه با صحبت میکنیم. Okay, the other letter that we are talking about is the letter D. Letter D. The letter D represents in Dari language it represents dal, but in Urdu it may be like this. We say d, d. Okay, so the letter D is exactly. It's also important for reading. Sometimes students are they don't care about this, that what time it's silent or it's not silent. So the letter D is silent in two positions. When it is used, when we use the letter D before J and G, when we use the letter D before J and G, at that time D is silent. Okay. For example, we have the word, for example, what? We have adjust. We do not say adjust. So when it is used before J, we do not pronounce it. Like another one, we have adjective, not adjective. Yes, this is adjective. So it is not adjective and it's not adjust. Okay, the other one we say, for example, age. So the word age is exactly, it's not age, this is age. So we have exactly after D we have G and D is silent in here. So we have two places that D is silent. The first one D is silent before J and the other one before G. So one more thing that we have a kind of compound letters. If D is used with the letter U, at that time it will produce the sound J. Like. Let me write it a little near. Like educate. Like educate. So the word educate in here, it is not educate, it is educate. So if we use U after D, it will have the sound of J, like educate, like education. Okay, so this is about letter D. Okay, now let's move to another consonant letter. خب دوستان، حرف دی در فارسی صدای داره میده و در صورتی که خب در دو جای حرف دی خوانده نمیشه. هرگاه قبل از حرف J و G قرار بگیره دی خوانده نمیشه، مثل کلمه adjust یعنی برابر ساختن و adjective یعنی صفت. نمیگیم adjective و نمیگیم adjust. و دیگه حرف دی هرگاه در اینجا قبل از چی آمده G و در اینجا مثلا age است و age هم نمیگیم age، چی میگیم age. خب هرگاه حرف D قبل از حرف U بیایه یا یک کمپاوند یا مرکبی از اینا ایجاد شود، در واقع ماهی حرف D را همراه U چی میخوانیم؟ جیم، مثل educate، education و سایر موارد. خب میریم طرف حرف بعدی. کانسوننت بعدی که بحث میکنیم رویش حرف F هست. حرف F صدای ف را در فارسی میده. So the letter F has the sound f in English language. So in fact in Dari language, so always we read F and it is not silent anywhere. So like we can have the word, for example, what? Food. We have the word food. Yeah, greedy people. Okay, so food. Another important letter is the letter G. So letter G is also sometimes problematic for some students, and they are really confused that should they pronounce the G G or J. So they are somehow confused about that. So letter G is also like letter C. It has we have a soft G, and we have a hard G, a soft G, and a hard G. So what is hard G? What is soft G? So soft G is that time that we pronounce the G, J, and hard G is that place where we pronounce it G. Okay, let's see the examples. But before example, we have also if the letter G is used before like I, E, Y, again we have, but there are some exceptions. In English we have some exceptions, but generally if we have after the letter I, E, Y, after G we pronounce it J. I told you we have exceptions. I will tell you some exceptions. So first of all, I want to give you an example with the word G, that it should be soft. For example, we have the word giant. Giant, it means big. So giant, for example, we have in medical science we have giant cells, those cells that they have a lot of nucleus, so or nuclei. So giant cell. And here it is pronounced G, not G. It is giant cell. So we have, for example, what? We have general. We do not say general. It is used before letter E. It is general. And also Y, for example, we have like gymnastic or gymnastics. And here also we do not say gymnastic. We say what? Gymnastic. So we do not pronounce it gymnastic, it is gymnastic. So totally these are the things, but one thing that it was exception, as I told you, there are some exceptions like the girls. The girls are okay, by the way, the word girl is not following the rule, they are breaking the rules. So it is not girl, it is girl. So this is an exception. So by the way, this was the letter G, okay, that we have discussed about it. خب حرف G مثل حرف C برای بعضی از دانشجویا یک سوال خلق میکنه که آیا من جیم تلفظ کنم یا گاف. به او خاطر باید یک تقسیم بندی داشته باشیم. حرف G در زبان فارسی گاهی اوقات میتونه صدای گاف بده، گاهی اوقات میتونه صدای جیم بده. در صورتی که سافت باشه، یعنی نرم باشه، ما وقتی رو جیم تلفظ میکنیم. اگر هارد باشه سخت. خب هرگاه حرفی G قبل از I, E, Y قرار بگیره ما رو میگیم soft G، یعنی صدای جیم میده، مثل giant، general و gymnastic. ولی در صورتی که دیگه حروف بیاید در اون صورت ما را گاف تلفظ میکنیم که در اینجا مثالش برای شما مثلا خب اکسپشن که براتون گفتم که girl یا دختر، اوکی، اینا چی هستن؟ اکسپشن است. خب به طور مثال ما کلمه چی را مد نظر میگیریم؟ گم it has two meanings، دو معنا داره. گم ساجق معنا میده و بیره دندانه معنا میده. خب اینو نمیگیم جم، علتش چیه؟ به خاطر که نه آی آمده بعد از ای، نه ای و نه وای. خب حرف جی هم تمام شد، میریم طرف حرف H. Okay, letter H is also important. Letter H, it is pronounced like ha. Okay, and letter H, it has also some points to say. If we have, for example, after H we have the letter O, or we have a vowel, especially O, at that time H is going to be silent. Like, for example, if I say hour, this is hour, it's not hour. For example, I work, for example, 8 hours, 6 hours, it's not hours, it is hours. Or the word like the word honor, it is not honor. Some people say it's a great honor. No, it's a great honor to us. Okay, it's honor. Or we have honest, not honest. This is honest. If we have after letter H we have O, at that time it is silent. O gives its own sound, like as I told you, our, honor, and honest. Okay, but there's an exception like the word home. The word home is an exception. We do not say home, it is home. The letter home, homestay, home loving, so whatever that it is combined with H it is like that. Okay, so letter H, as I told you, if it is used before O, it gives so the vowel gives its own sound. So it was the letter H. The next letter is the letter J. Okay, خب تشریح ما مان در فارسی هرگاه خب حرف ه که است، حرف H صدای هی حلوا و هی دیشمه را میته و در صورتی که هرگاه بعد از او اول مخصوصا حرف او بیایه ما حرف H تلفظ نمی کنیم، نمیگیم hour، میگیم hour. اینم نمیگیم که honor، میگیم honor و honest یا honesty. و اکسپشن یا استثنایی که وجود داره حرف چه کلمه هوم است که در اینجا ما نمیگیم اوم، میگیم هوم. حرف بعدی که صحبت میکنیم حرف J است. The letter J. So letter J is exactly, it is pronounced like G. So the only difference is this, that we cannot pronounce the letter J like G. It was a difference between G and J. So the letter J, people who are living in Iran, they say J, like Japan, like Janvier, they say like this. It means they pronounce this one J. But in Dari language, we're not pronouncing this one J, we're pronouncing this one J. Okay, it's J. So the letter J, it is always written and always pronounced. So we have many examples of, like we have, for example, Jack, okay, or Judge. So it is always pronounced. So it was the letter J we talked about. Another important consonant is the consonant K. Letter K. So the letter K is also sometimes confused, okay, by some students. So K. The letter K is pronounced like K, K, K. It has the letter K. And we pronounce the letter K in Dari language, it is equal to Kaf, okay? So now it is also silent in one place. That is, when we use K before N, at that time it is silent. If we use K before N, N is what? Silent, like Ni. We do not say Kani, we say what? Ni. Or we have no. No. Or for example, we have, this is something everybody knows, that knife. It is not knife, it is knife. So if we use letter N after K, so K is silent. Hop, حرف K صدای کاف در زبان فارسی میده و هرگاه قبل از حرف N واقع شوه خوانده نمیشه یا سایلنت است. مثلا نی نمیگیم کنی، نو نمیگیم کنو، یا نایف نمیگیم کنایف. خب حرف K. خب بعد از حرف K حرف کانسوننت بعدی که بحث میکنیم حرف L است. حرف L or the letter L has the sound la. It gives the sound la. In Dari it is equal to lam. So L is also silent in some places, like if we use it before K, it is silent. For example, we have walk, we have talk. So walk, talk, these two words, you see that it is used before K and it is silent. But there is an exception, that if we have an exception of milk and silk. Milk and silk. Milk and silk are exceptions. Okay, so when I is used before L, at that time it's not silent. But then here, if you have that one A, at that time it is silent. So that is about letter L. حرف L صدای لام در زبان فارسی میده و هرگاه قبل از که بیایه خواندن میشه مثل walk و talk. و اکسپشنه که وجود داره ملک و سلک است. ملک شیر منامیته و سلک مبریشم منامیته و قبل از آی آمده و بخاطر خوانده میشه. خب بعد از حرف L حرف M است. حرف M در فارسی صدای میم میته. The letter M has the sound M. It gives the sound M. So letter M is not silent in anywhere. So M is always pronounced. But we have an exception. We will say that exception in letter N because it is related to N. So we have example like man. Like for example, what can we say? Memory. So memory. So M is always pronounced and it's not silent anywhere. So another letter, it's a friend of M, that is N. The letter N. Letter N represents the sound N in English, and it has one place that we do not pronounce it. That is after M. If we use N after M at that time, we do not pronounce it. Like the word condom. The word condom. The word condom, in here we do not say condiment. We do not say what? Condiment. We say condom. Condom. So in here you see that N is used after M. If we use N after M at that time it is silent. حرف N صدای نون در فارسی میده و هرگاه بعد از M قرار بگیره خوانده نمیشه یا سایلنت است. خب حرف P کانسوننت بعدی که است P است. حرف P. حرف P صدای P را در فارسی میده. It represents the sound P in English as well as in Dari, as I told you. It has that sound. So P is a letter that it is also sometimes it's not pronounced when we use P. When we use it before S and N, S and N, if we use it before S and N at that time it is silent. Like the word we have the word pneumonia. This is not pneumonia, it is pneumonia. In most of, for example, Persian books, some medical books, this is said pneumonia or like these things. It's not true. So it is. So letter P is not pronounced. This is pneumonia. It's not pneumonia. Okay. Another one, a letter N, like for example. So N is told it. Letter S. For example, we have psychology. Psychology. It is not psychology. It is psychology. So we see that P is used before S and it's not psychology, it is psychology. So also we should not commit this mistake that we should say this psychology or like for example pseudo. Pseudo, it means something false. This is not pseudo, it is pseudo. Okay, so the letter P, we said that. خب حرف P صدای پر در زبان دری میده و هرگاه قبل از حرف N و S قرار بگیره ما را تلفظ نمیکنیم مانند pneumonia, not pneumonia, and psychology, not psychology. خب حرف کانسوننت یا به صدای دیگری که ما بحث میکنیم Q است. Q. Okay, letter Q. Q, it has the sound K in English. We do not say K. So in Dari language, sometimes it is said that it has the sound of Qaf, but really or exactly in English language, the sound of Q is K, not K. So if you, for example, travel to America or some other places where it's English spoken, so they do not say, for example, if we have like we have a person who is called Qadir, but in America they will not call you Qadir, they will say Mr. Qadir or Mr. Qasim, not Qasim. Okay, so but in Afghanistan, in our country, people say that Q is equal to Qaf, like Qadir. Okay, but exactly this is Ka. So there are some cultural differences. It means English and Dari, they are never the same. Okay, so why do I say this? Because I want to give you some examples that Q has the sound K, like queen. So if we say like this, if we just read it like Afghans, it will be queen. So it's not queen, it's queen. That's why it has the sound Q. Or we have question. So it's question, it's not question. So it's question. That's why. So American people pronounce Q like K. So it's the sound. So it is never silent. It is never silent. So another letter is the letter R. Letter R is pronounced like R sound, American. So there is somehow a difference in British and American system. In British or in British English, they pronounce, they leave, or they exactly don't pronounce the letter R at the end of the words. Like if they say teacher, instead of teacher, they say teacher. They say teacher, teacher. Father. They say father, not father. So, but in American English, they pronounce R like teacher, father. Okay, so like we have the word driver. In American English, we say driver, driver, but in British English, they say driver. He's a driver. He is a driver. Or my sister has a driver. My sister, not sister. They say sister. So letter R, it has the sound of or re in dairy language. خب حرف R صدای ر در فارسی میده و در American English R تلفظ میشه و در British English در آخر کلمات تلفظ نمیشه، مثل teacher, father, driver. نمیگن driver نمیگن چون Americans میگه چی؟ driver. خب حرف R بعد از حرف S هست. حرف S همیشه خوانده میشه. So S is always pronounced and it has the sound S. It has the sound of similar to C. You may ask a question that what's the difference between S and C if they've got the same sound. So as I told you that C is sometimes used like K, but S is not like that. So by the way, so S is like that. So one more thing that you should keep in mind, that Americans sometimes they pronounce this one Z. They say Z. Like for example, if I say advisor or advisor. Advisor and advisor, so there is a difference. Okay, by the way, another letter is the letter T. Letter T represents the sound T in English. So the letter T is sometimes, not sometimes, it has one place that we cannot pronounce letter T. It is before CH. If we use T before CH, at that time it is silent. For example, we have the word watch, or we have the word catch. So watch and catch, these two words, you see that T is used before CH. At that time it's not pronounced. خب حرف T بیانگر صدای T در زبان دری است و هرگاه قبل از CH قرار بگیره خوانده نمیشه، مثل کلمه watch و catch. خب حرف U وابل است U. W هم که نیمه وابل، سیمی وابل است. X. حرف X در واقع خود X صدای X خودش X خوانده میشه، ولی در صورتی که اگر تنها استفاده شود خودش صدای خود میته X خوانده میشه. اگر با یک کلمه دیگه استفاده شود و یک مرکب شود در اون صورت صدای زیر میته. It represents the letter Z. Like we have Zeno. It means begona. Zeno, it means what? We cannot say Xeno. It's not Xeno, it's Zeno. It is Zeno. For example, we have the word xenophile, or we have xenophobe. So xenophile, xenophobe, so we cannot say xenophile, xenophobe. So for example, another one is xeroderma, for example. We cannot say xeroderma. It is xeroderma, it means yellowish skin. The yellowish skin, it is xeroderma, it's not xeroderma. So X, but what time do you pronounce it X? Like when we use X-ray, In here X is alone, that's why we pronounce it X. Or we have X-Men. Those children who have watched X-Men cartoon, so it is what? X-Man. So by the way, another point about XY, now Z. The letter Z or Z, it has the sound Z, and it is always pronounced like we have zoo, like we have zero. And finally we are done with our letters. Consonant letters are 19 letters that they are, as I told you, they are pronounced, and when we pronounce them, our sound system is completely closed, or there is obstacle in our sound system. خب دوستا حروف نیمه صدادار صدادار و به صدای ما کاملا تمام شد. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel and try to click on the bell for alerting you about the other videos that we are going to upload. Thanks for watching. Thank you.